Well, disregarded warnings, conflict about cruiser lights, and fears of a mole. Allegations revealed in court during day 2 of Tyrell Morris's trial.
The former Orleans Parish 911 director is accused of covering up a crash, and today the driver who he allegedly hit took the stand.
WDSU investigative reporter Cassie Sherm live outside the courthouse. And Cassie, the driver said there were blue lights on Morris's car.
That's right, Travers. So basically he told jurors what he experienced the night of the crash and why he believed that Morris was a law enforcement officer, which led to one of the 4 charges against Tyrell Morris. Now, Morris is facing 4 criminal charges: malfeasance in office, impersonating a peace officer, insurance fraud, and altering public documents. William Robinson Jr. testified he was struck by Morris's city-issued SUV on May 7th of 2023. Robinson admitted he didn't have a license or insurance at the time, but said what alarmed him the most were the lights flashing on Morris's vehicle. Now, Claude Flott, a former special assistant, also former NOPD sergeant, testified that he warned Morris that using blue lights on their cars is against the law, and he claims that Morris ignored him. In court, Robinson told the jurors what he saw. When he saw the blue lights, he thought he was in trouble, even though it wasn't my fault. Quote, "I thought I was in trouble because I didn't have a license or insurance. From the lights on, I knew he was some kind of officer." Now, we did catch up with Tyrell Morris after the court hearing ended, at least for day 2, and this is what he had to say.
I have no ill will towards anybody. I got a lot of questions yesterday. Am I upset at some people? None. I have no ill will to the reporters, to the media, not even to you, Cassie, right? You all have a job to do, and I understand that. I do think as a city we should do better, right, on how we handle each other, right? And remember, people are people. But at the end of the day, when you're called to lead, things are going to happen.
Now, we also heard from former employees from OPCD today, as well as the current director of the 911 district, and we just kind of learned a little bit more about the policies in place, and tomorrow we're expected to hear from even more witnesses. Reporting here at Criminal Court, I'm Cassie Sherm. Back to you.